Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Bashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone and rule one. Shalom to all the brothers doing the work of sharing truth. Fucking hell. Got this article on in the Guardian. It says what Iran to enrich uranium up to 20% purity, UN nuclear watchdog says. It says what Iran has told the UN nuclear watchdog it plans to enrich uranium to 20% purity, a level it reached before its 2015 accord at its Fordow site, buried inside a mountain, the agency said. The move is the latest of several recent announcements by Iran to the International Atomic Energy Agency that it plans to further breach the deal, which it started violating in 2019 in retaliation for Washington's withdrawal from the agreement and the reimposition of US sanctions against Tehran. That's correct. Yeah, so this situation in Iran is kind of like just been more or less back-to-back kind of news. Well, let's say the Middle East in general, because Israel's had things going on in their place where it's been mainly just kind of the West Bank, which that's been a thing for a little while. And then like Iran as well, it's that nuclear program which Israel don't like. They're basically eager to get either military intervention or they got sanctions from the US, but they obviously want more. So yeah, it's that's funny as hell. Cause yeah, it's essentially the situation's heating up. And that kind of the nuclear enrichment war has been the main point of contention. So then basically bring it up to the point they were at before the deal, when what's his name, O'Greasy made the deal. That's that's interesting. So it says, and could be a sign that there's could be attempts made. The thing is that they already fucking whacked their scientists. Which, okay, let me read. So it says this step was one of many mentioned in a law passed by Iran's parliament last month in response to the killing of the country's top nuclear scientists, which Tehran has blamed on Israel. Such moves by Iran could complicate efforts by US President-elect Joe Biden to rejoin the deal. So yeah, that geezer get fucking absolutely obliterated by a fucking robot with a gun. Satellite controlled fucking robot got deployed and smashed the dude in, man. With his wife next to him in a whip. Man got absolutely annihilated in that car. That shit was wild, man. Shit, that shit was wild. Because it was just birth. Man got wiped out. So, but then that's it's since then, and a little while before then, it's kind of been building up back again in the Middle East. It says it's an additional blow. A diplomat based in Vienna told AFP. Iran has informed the agency that in order. Wait, Iran has informed the agency that in order to comply with a legal act recently passed by the country's parliament, the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran intends to produce low-enriched uranium up to 20% at the Fordow Fuel Enrichment Plant, IAEA has said in a statement. Okay. An IAEA report to the member states early on Friday, obtained by Reuters, used similar wording in describing a letter to Iran to the IAEA dated 31st of December. Iran's letter to the agency did not say when this enrichment activity would take place. The statement said Fordow was built inside a mountain, apparently it's protected from aerial bombardment, and a 2015 deal does not allow enrichment there. Iran is already enriching at Fordow with first generation IR-1 centrifuges. Iran has breached the deal's 3.67% limit on the purity to which it can enrich uranium, but it's only gone up to 4.5%. That's actually mad. Oh, okay, so 90% is weapons grade. So chances are they're fucking already doing weapons grade anyway. Because I can't remember, but I think they said they weren't letting... No, it doesn't say. But I do believe they weren't letting... or maybe, I think it was after the assassination, they weren't letting the inspectors see. So I think they're probably still not letting them see. That's why they just said, yeah, this is what we're doing. So they're saying 20%, they could be doing more. But then it's whatever they feel about it. You know, there's going to be intel, there's going to be spies, there's going to be all that shit. So then these guys are going to be looking at where this is kind of the catalyst in the Middle East for that, you know, for a skirmish to go down. So we'll see. It says the deal's main aim was to extend the time Iran would need to produce enough fissile material for a nuclear bomb, if it chose to at least a year from roughly 2 to 3 months. Also lifted the international sanctions against Tehran, which they got now got back on. U.S. intelligence agencies and the IAEA believe Iran had a secret coordinated nuclear weapons program that halted in 2003. Iran denies ever having one. Biden, who takes journey, well, till 2003, that would have been when, Iraq War. So they had to just hide all that shit. So the Biden, who takes office on January 20th, has signaled Washington would rejoin the so-called Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action and to limit Iran's nuclear program. The deal has been unraveling ever since DJ Trump dramatically withdrew from it in May 2018 and imposed crippling economic sanctions. So them sanctions, that shit just, you know, that's what leads to war. Because it's basically like their economy can't function. The government's gonna struggle. It's just gonna be a thing where like, look, we're gonna have to, and that's why they've just been like, okay, fuck it. If you men are gonna, if there's no benefit, a benefit for them to be in the deal because they're still getting sanctions, then they'll enrich uranium, and then that puts the fire in the arse of Israel to go in, man. So you see, it's a prophecy again, moving, and it shows, hey, Yahweh Shai is gonna be back soon, man. That World War III, that's one of Iranian World War III. That's one of the big prophecies. The mark, another big prophecies that you're seeing come to pass, man. Seeing it in living color. But yeah, yeah, so I was gonna say that. Shalom. Yabashim Shabashim Kakadash Shalom.